Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today, as a celebration for Indian Independence Day, I will be talking about the three Axis armies that were raised to fight for Indian independence during the Second World War against the British. So, without a further ado, let's get into the first army. The Indian National Army, or INA, was formed originally by Mohan Singh in April of 1942 to serve the Indian Independence League (IIL) based in Japan. However, this first army saw little success, with it eventually being disbanded in December the same year. The more well-known and more effective Indian National Army was found by none other than Subhash Chandra Bose in October of 1943, with him taking command of the straggling soldiers of the leftovers of the first INA, who were in Japanese POW camps. Subhash Chandra Bose, who I will refer to as Netaji for the rest of the video, would then command these soldiers as they would participate to aid the Japanese in their campaigns in Burma. However, they fought under the conditions that they would only fight in battles that would help the Indian independence cause, and that they were only Japanese allies, not their puppets. Whilst the Japanese in secret had other plans, the INA still fought alongside them, not knowing that the Japanese secretly wanted to make India a puppet. The Azad Hind government would also be founded by Netaji when he took over command of the INA, with the INA officially serving the Azad Hind government. The Azad Hind government officially claimed all of India. However, they only controlled the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, which were transferred to them by the Japanese, and they also controlled small parts of northeast India. The INA would assist the Japanese in their invasion of India during Operation Yugo, with the army providing 2 infantry divisions to support the campaign in the battles of Kohima and Imphal. However, later during the war, with the Japanese beginning to lose and the British launching their invasion into Burma, the INA had to retreat back into Singapore, suffering defeats to the hands of the British. With Japan's surrender in September of 1945, Netaji attempted to continue the fight. However, he would die in a plane crash in Taiwan. Whilst there are many rumors regarding his death, I won't get into them in this video. If you want me to make a separate video on that, make sure to comment. Anyway, after his death, the INA would officially surrender to the British, with the soldiers who took part in the INA being sent to the British Red Fort trials for being convicted of treason against the Empire. Now, let's get on to the second army. The Free India Legion, also known as the Tiger Legion or Azad Hind Fauj. The Azad Hind Fauj was founded in 1941 by Netaji whilst he was in Germany. The legion was founded to supposedly support a German campaign into Persia, and from there, an invasion of British India from the northwest frontier. However, this dream was shattered following the Battle of Stalingrad, with the Germans being routed and sent on the defensive along the eastern front. The legion was headquartered in Königsbruck and had a maximum strength of 4.5k soldiers, much smaller than the INA in Japan, which had 43,000 soldiers at its peak. The legion, similar to the INA, mainly consisted of Indian POWs captured from the British. The legion would assist in defending the Atlantic Wall and would later mainly conduct anti-partisan operations in France and in Italy, the legion later being sent to mainland Germany. Along with the German surrender in May of 1945, the legion also surrendered, with its soldiers also being sent off to the Red Fort trials, similar to the soldiers of the INA. Now, let's get on to the third and final army that was founded by the smallest Axis power among the big three, Italy. The Azad Hind Battalion was a small battalion founded by Muhammad Iqbal Shedai in Rome in May of 1942. This small battalion would be tasked with infiltrating the British via submarines and parachutes. At its peak, the battalion's strength was only 400 soldiers, much smaller than the Azad Hind Fauj of Germany and the INA of Japan. The battalion would later be disbanded in November of 1942 after the Italian and German defeat in the Battle of El Alamein, with the battalion mutinying following the news of the British victory. The small mutiny would be crushed and the Indian soldiers were sent back into prisoner of war camps by the Italians, effectively ending this legion for good. In conclusion, Indians all around the world fought for independence alongside the Axis. And something that I would like to mention is that just because they fought alongside these nations doesn't necessarily mean that these soldiers or their commanders supported the actions of the Axis. They simply wished for the freedom of their homeland in India, and they saw an opportunity to gain that freedom from the false promises given by the Axis. In a way, this can be seen as a case of the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. A happy Independence Day to all my fellow Indians, and make sure to like, subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a new video. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.